Well, hello there. Tyler with Carolina Performance Synthetics. Today, we will be demonstrating a valve cover gasket change on this 2003 BMW 330 Ci. We will be using a small valve cover gasket set that includes spark plug tube seals as well. Before we begin, I would like to talk to you about a few products that I use in my car. Before every oil change, I use AMSOIL's engine and transmission flush. This loosens sticky valves and rings, cleans clutches, quiet lifter noises, reduces engine oil consumption, and gets rid of gunk and varnish. Now, it's especially important to use this in the M54 engine, which is found in the 330 because these are known for very high engine oil consumption. As I mentioned before, I use AMSOIL's 5W30 Signature Series. If you're looking for a European oil though, AMSOIL's got you covered. Oh, I didn't see you there. But stick around to the end of the video and figure out how you can save 25% on all of your AMSOIL orders. Moving on to the valve cover gasket, our first step is going to be removing the engine covers. This is done by removing the 4 covers over the bolts, followed by the 4 10mm nuts under the cover. Next, we will remove the cabin air filter housing, starting by lifting this wiring loom up and over its tabs, allowing it to rest there. You'll have a grommet disconnect here to give you a little bit more play. Next, you've got these 3 twist pins, and this will allow you to pull the cabin air filter out. Once you've removed your cabin air filter, you will have 4 T30 Torx bits to remove the actual housing itself. I don't think we'll have the issue on this car, but if you ever run into rusty bolts, AMSOIL Metal Protector is a fantastic way around that. Now that we have the engine cover and cabin air filter housing removed, we can go ahead and pull our ignition coils. It's a simple rotation of this flap, pull the connector out, and you'll pull the ignition coil out. Now that we've got all of our ignition coils out, we're going to go ahead and remove these wiring harnesses from their holders, being very careful because one of these is actually a vacuum line. If this snaps, you will get a check engine light. Next, you will release the clips holding in the wiring harness for the ignition coils. There's a few on the top and on the bottom. They're very delicate, so be careful not to break them. It's best to use a plastic trim tool with a small head, or just be very careful with a flathead screwdriver. Before you completely remove the harness, use an 8mm socket to remove the ground strap. And finally, to make this as easy as possible, we're going to go ahead and remove the 19mm nut holding on the positive battery cable for your jump point. Next, we will be removing the ventilation hose from the... Since we're already this deep, I'm going to go ahead and remove my spark plugs, simply so I can check their condition and see if they need replacing. After removing the spark plugs, we've gone ahead and purchased 6 brand new ones. As you can see, they are not only mix matched, but also in very poor condition. We're going to be using OE quality NGK Laser Platinum, which was the original plug used in the car from the factory. Now we can remove the valve cover by removing the 11 10mm bolts on the perimeter and the 4 10mm bolts in the middle of the cover. I'm using a ratchet because I do not like using impact wrenches to remove valve covers. Once you've completely removed all of the fasteners, you're safe to carefully remove the valve cover. Keep in mind of the wiring harnesses and the vacuum line back here. All right, now that we have the valve cover off, we've already removed 1 set of spark plug tube seals. We'll go ahead and remove the second set, toss these in the trash, and we'll go ahead and carefully remove the old gasket from the perimeter. Now this car has 236,000 miles on it, and we do not have service records of the last time this being changed. So we're definitely going to keep an eye out for gunk buildup. And as you can possibly hear on that, these gaskets are essentially plastic. They are trash. All right, so after cleaning off your mating surfaces, you're going to install the valve cover gasket and the spark plug tube seals, making sure everything is seated properly along all edges. After that, we'll be installing that and following the factory torque sequence to tighten the valve cover gasket. Now that the cover is reinstalled, we've gone ahead and started all of our bolts but haven't tightened anything because we're going to torque these to factory spec, going from inside to outside in a crisscross motion. Now that the valve cover has been torqued to spec, we've gone ahead and we have reattached our wiring harnesses and vacuum lines. Reattach the vacuum line at this point, and then we're going to go ahead and clip back in our ventilation hose. So we've gone ahead and installed the spark plugs. We're going to go ahead and tighten them back. From this point on, everything is going to be in reverse order from what you have already done. We've completed the job by reinstalling the spark plugs, ignition coils, and the engine covers. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have you dreamed about a world where you can get AMSOIL at 25% off and get free shipping on orders over $100? Well, do we have a surprise for you? Just click the link below and sign up to be a preferred customer. Use our referral code. Think fast before products sell out.